The blackest night falls from the skies. The darkness grows as all light dies. This is the Lair of Darkness. Alright guys, so I'm going to be talking about the new structure that's going to be coming out, the Lair of Darkness structure deck. It's pretty dope. I'm liking it a lot of it. Seeing it's just really gimmicky, kind of like almost anti-meta-ish, just way to just beat out a lot of the stuff. It's going to be really interesting to see where this goes, because they have their own personally built-in kaijus to the deck. So I'm not going to be talking about the deck so much in itself, but additional cards that you can run into the deck and additional supports. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. I'm going to go ahead and talk about archetypes. The number one archetype that I think this deck is going to be obviously succeeding in is already succeeding in the OCG, and that is with INFERNOIDs. INFERNOIDs are absolutely awesome powerhouses, and they have secondary effects where they contribute to banish stuffs in your opponent's graveyard. Because of the field spell, they contribute opponent's monsters. So if they have like one monster in grave and one on the field, you tribute and banish a monster in their grave. It doesn't necessarily have to be a monster either, it can just be any card. So INFERNOIDs have a lot of amazing synergy with this because one, once they're tributing, they can also just tribute themselves too. They don't have to tribute the opponent's monsters, so they can trigger Diabolos in hand and get that amazing stuff. Can I just say, by the way, Diabolos is an awesome boss monster that cannot be targeted or cannot be kaiju'd, so I think that's pretty awesome. So with the INFERNOIDs, you can start triggering a lot of the effects, and with Lilith, you can also search a Void Feast as well as any Crush card. So those are things to consider when pairing them with INFERNOIDs. INFERNOIDs have great synergy with this deck, and I think that together they'll be able to succeed a lot. Saying that, you can also be running other support cards within INFERNOIDs that'll also be amazing. For example, Monster Gate. Monster Gate obviously is absolutely amazing in INFERNOIDs. You activate the field spell, activate Monster Gate, and bam, you tribute their monster and you get a free summon. Also, hopefully, ideally, milling all your INFERNOIDs, because that would be absolutely amazing. This deck does have a lot of the advantages within the INFERNOIDs itself. The field spell just makes INFERNOIDs just absolutely amazing. For those of you who do not know, the field spell can let you tribute one monster your opponent controls for a card effect. So they cannot be tributed for a tribute summon because a tribute summon is not a card effect. They cannot be tributed for maintenance cost because maintenance cost is not a card effect, it's maintenance. An example would be the Morphages. Morphages are not working with the field spell. Morphages are maintenance costs, and Morphages would not allow you to tribute your opponent's monsters. So that's one thing to consider when building the decks, to realize what is maintenance and what is effect, and what is inherent. Certain things like that, just people are saying play this in Monarchs. Well, one, that's a decent idea. You're not going to be getting any like real effects there. It's only going to be by effects, and Monarchs, they don't tribute, they just tribute summon. They don't do it by effects there. One thing to consider, like a good side card, would be Advanced Draw. If you're playing a deck that runs level 8 monster, then you can play Advanced Draw, tribute their level 8 monster, and draw 2 cards. That is pretty awesome, by the way. So a good theme of this that you're probably going to be thinking is that, wow Jay, this is a lot of cards that involve tributing. Yes, this deck revolves around it like crazy. So you can run an enemy controller, tribute one of their monsters, take control of one of their monsters. With the field spell, all of a sudden it becomes like a mind control on steroids, because you can take control of their monster while tributing one of their monsters. And if you haven't noticed, all these ideas that I'm going to be mentioning, they're going to be revolving a lot around the field spell, because the field spell is just absolutely insane. Now, there's a versions that you can run without the field spell, and one version of that would be Burning Abyss. Burning Abyss is a great floating deck that allows you a lot of opportunities. Skarm, they're all fiends, so Skarm can search a lot of these. Skarm can search Lilith and things along those lines, saying that Lilith can search Fire Lake. And Fire Lake is pretty awesome. Lilith can search Traveler, which is also pretty good. Lilith can search these things. You can tribute themselves off when you decide to go into a Burning Abyss play. So tribute, get the little plus to do Burning Abyss play so they don't get destroyed. Once you finish on the Dante or something along those lines, you can start going again with Lair of Darkness shenanigans. You can start getting yourself tokens, go into Link shenanigans. That's if you're tributing on your turn. It's just such an interesting play style. And you gotta be careful about which ones that you decide to go with. Burning Abyss is pretty spicy. Another thing to consider is Tour Guide. Tour Guide can special summon Lilith, but their effects are negated, but Lilith tributes herself as cost. So if you decide to tribute Lilith, Lilith will get effects. You can go Tour Guide, special summon Lilith, activate Lilith's effect, tribute Lilith. Since it's no longer in their field, the effect will activate, and tributing is cost. So it doesn't say they can't activate the effects, it just says the effects are negated, so they can go ahead and tribute and get the effect. And that thing is just pretty awesome. So Tour Guide is really just a nice little... Tour Guide's always been a +1, but now you summon, search, and bam, it's really nice. If you're going with that route, you cannot use the field spell to tribute their monsters because Lilith does have to lead the field. So that's pretty awesome. The field spell can add a lot of things that are unaffected by monster effects. One thing, because it is cost, so it's not affecting them. But let's just say if they have a masterpiece that's unaffected by monsters, you can still tribute them because tributing is cost. But they have a masterpiece unaffected by spells, then you cannot. Because it's the field spell that allows you to tribute. It's the field spell that's allowing you to affect masterpiece. So if he's unaffected by spells, you cannot tribute using the monsters because that's the spell giving you the effect. It's just really control. Go for these 1-for-1 bases in this control deck. One thing to consider obviously is the main thing this deck is advertising is the viruses. The crush card viruses. All monsters become dark, so if you activate the field spell instead of a virus card, they summon a monster, you tribute it, and you tribute their monsters and destroy something along those lines, maybe spells or traps or something like that. The viruses aren't that good anymore, but I think that you should only be running the Eradicator, maybe Full Force Virus, the new one, GG Virus, Grin Virus or something like that. I just call him GG Virus. He's pretty trash because it destroys cards in the deck. Now it's any card, but they can't activate the effects, so no Yang Zing stuff. But you can just send ABC pieces or something along this line. You can send Snow and get the effects next turn. Just you load up your grave. It doesn't seem that good to me. It just seems like maybe a good side if your opponent's playing something that does not revolve around the grave, like maybe Pendulum. But really, aside from Pendulums, every deck does revolve around the grave. So it's pretty interesting when you think about it that way. It's really gimmicky. There's just so many cards that tribute for cost that you can use your opponent's monsters. A few things to consider: things like Link Karibo and ABC Buster Dragon. They cannot tribute your opponent's monsters because they specifically say tribute this card. ABC Dragon Buster says tribute this card. It doesn't say tribute a card, or else you can just tribute a piece and special summon 3 pieces. That's insane. But look for cards. There's just so many cards that just tribute for cost. I won't be able to name all of them here. I just named the best ones in my opinion. Emily Controller, Monster Gate. Those are easily by far the best ones. Advanced Draw is really a amazing side against decks that just play out level 8 monsters, say Med Knights or something along those lines, or something along those lines. Just anything like that. It'd be really nice to do that. It's just a really powerful card. It's really easy to play around because all you need to do is just once they get the field spell out, and you get rid of the field spell, and then your monsters are safe. They still have their own gimmicky style, but your monsters are safe. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What are the best tribute cards to be running with this? Because at its best, this is a controlled deck that can tribute off powerful boss monsters very, very easily. They cannot chain anything to these effects because, again, tributing is cost. So if they activate the effect, tributing is cost. They cannot negate it. Anything that they're going to chain to it, they got to chain, even if they negate the summon or negate the effect, tributing is cost, so that's still going to go away. The only way to beat around this is that, if I have ABC Buster Dragon, they summon, they activate the field spell. The only way really out of that is for me to tag out, because I gotta do it as soon as they activate the field spell. I gotta tag out then. I won't be able to do anything else beforehand. I can try to banish the field spell because this deck does revolve around the field spell. Saying that, another thing that you can run is Pseudospace. Pseudospace, the field spell is a soft once per turn. You can only tribute one opponent's monsters, but it is once per turn, but it is soft. So you can go Pseudospace, copy the field spell, and now you can tribute another one of their monsters to get additional effects that way. Pseudospace is a little bit gimmicky, but it depends on how you run your deck. If you want that extra sauce, you could be running to PSEUDO as well to go into Ancient Fairy Dragon, to pop a field spell, search another field spell, you can now get yourself another tribute. These are all things to consider when you're playing this deck. This deck can go either first or second. Going first, you can set up the viruses, you can set up maybe an INFERNOID monster, something along those lines, and now as soon as they get something out, you can just tribute it before they can even get the plays going, like Electromite or something along those lines. Just tribute it, and you hopefully stop all their plays. If you're going second, then you activate the field spell and you activate whatever you want after that. Monster Gate, enemy controller, mass draw, just things along those lines that can get you the additional pluses. There's plenty more. One of my favorites, and I wanted to share the best one for last here, guys, Share the Pain. Share the Pain is a brilliant card because one, it is cost, and two, it affects the player, not the monster. So let's just say they have like a masterpiece and a Majesty's Maiden. You activate it, tribute off Majesty's Maiden. Alright, so you tribute off the Majesty Maiden. Let's just say like Masterpiece is unaffected by spell, so you couldn't tribute him off. But Share the Pain affects the player, so it'll be the player deciding to tribute his own Masterpiece. So the player is allowed to tribute Masterpiece whenever he wants. That's the beauty of it. So that is just something that's going to be pretty awesome, and I look forward to it because of just Share the Pain is an absolutely amazing card in this deck, and it will absolutely win you games because you get rid of 2 monsters for 1, and the second one, like that second effect, that second tributing effect, that's affecting the player, not the monster, like evenly matched, something along those lines. So you'd be perfectly fine tributing off a Masterpiece or like an Ulti Falcon or something along those lines, Towers. These are the things that would be able to out it. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about this deck. I think it's going to be amazing. I'm personally going to be trying out with INFERNOIDs and see how that works. Once the deck comes out, I'll do a deck profile. Later guys, Jay here, out.